Hello, this is Sibbles and Bits, and we're back here with InB4Blood, a series dedicated to discovery and discussion of Back for Blood in a post-beta, pre-launch state. And today, we're here on FortHope.gg to talk about Jim. FortHope.gg is a community-made deck building site that enables you to look at all the cards and fiddle around with them, make custom decks according to how they were in the alpha. Cards were changed from these states over to the beta, and even then they could be changed even further once the game comes out. But we should be able to use this to discuss Jim a little bit. Another thing I want to note is Jim was not in the beta, so at this point we were actually going off of like napkin math and spreadsheets, but we know how the game works enough that we should be able to talk about him regardless. Third thing I want to mention, even though every character has a talent, a stat boost, and a team effect, you're not pigeonholed into, say, a class or a role simply because you have a specific character. All the power in this game is in the fact that you get to choose 15 of these cards, and you can do whatever you want with them. Now, when we're talking about Jim, we're going to start off with his talent. Precision kills grant Jim 5% damage up to 50%. Lose all stacks on taking damage. Now let's see if we can actually get this here. Here we go. Glass Cannon. 50% weak spot damage, negative 30 health. That's a huge deficit. It's kind of close to this. Weak spot damage, negative damage. I would actually prefer to find actual damage here. I guess we're just not going to find it. It's actually quite hard to find specific cards in here because they don't necessarily search up on their names or tags. Regardless, 50 damage is a lot. You're going to cause big numbers here, and it's not even a problem of precision kills might be difficult. The problem with this skill, and why it's not as good as it looks, is not taking damage. You take damage from all sorts of things, right? You could get spat at by ranged enemies. You can accidentally take some friendly fire damage. Maybe you hop off of high ground and you accidentally take fall damage. Somebody threw a grenade too close to you. You get clipped by it. You're not actually going to keep this up all the time, but it should be up most of the time and when it matters. Another thing that I want to note as we're talking about this specifically is Broadside. This is a card in the beta. I know this got changed. I think they reduced the radius. I don't quite remember, but in the beta they changed this. And this in combination with Jim is pretty disgusting. 20% chance to cause a Ridden to explode on precision kills. You're already going for headshots anyways. This is very synergistic. But why is this a lot? The common Ridden HP at the start of the game is 20 health. All you need is 7 stacks of this to get to 35%. This gets buffed up to above 20%. Now, all you have to do is headshot a Ridden, 20% chance to kill everything at this point within 4 meters. That is basically a grenade that only works against common Ridden, but there's a lot of them. It's honestly pretty ridiculous. They show him as like the sniper character, but in my opinion, he's probably going to be one of the best LMG characters in the game. He can also use SMGs, obviously, because all you have to do is breach 15 damage in order to get that headshot. It's actually 10 at the start of the game. My apologies, because headshot damage, or weak point, is double damage. So all you have to do is do 10 damage to a common ridden's head, and it is going to potentially cause this AoE explosion. And you even get 10% weak spot damage. Now it's important to note, we weren't quite able to math out exactly how weak spot damage works in the algorithm. Is weak spot damage plus 100% bonus damage, in which case this would be plus 110% bonus damage, or is weak spot damage bonus damage that occurs and then gets doubled by the double damage from hitting a weak spot? Regardless, in the worst case scenario, this is an extra 10% damage, and that's still insanely good. I was talking with Walker about how his 10% damage bonus allows him to breach breakpoints of hitting, say, 10 health damage, 20 body shot damage. Of course, when enemies scale up and they become monstrous, they get 50% damage, but as far as we know, that's as far as they scale as the beta. Lots of guns do near 15 damage, and so you can still use those so long as you're hitting them in the head. And then your whole team gets this even. So they're doing slightly more damage against more, probably the most helpful against special ridden, which have a lot of health but require you to coordinate and deal damage to that weak spot in order to take it down quickly because it has so much health. He also has ADS speed. We're not really going to go into this. This is pretty good. Obviously, you don't ready your weapon right away. The heavier your gun, the longer it takes to ready. So LMGs actually take a long time to actually like heft up into ADS. He's just going to make all that feel smooth. This is pretty good. I also want to look at that and show, as far as the search engine, of course, we're only picking up 3 aim down sights here. 50% with a deficit, negative 5% damage resistance is huge, 80% aim speed, but you practically don't even move while you're ADS. You're basically playing Resident Evil at this point. Older Resident Evil, not Resident Evil 7, obviously. These are huge deficits, and the only other card you really have to take, again, as of here, is 30% aim speed. You're getting that for free. Anyways, unfortunately, that's about all I can say about Jim. He's kind of straightforward, but he's also very good. Anyways, you have any comments, clarifications, you want to correct anything that I made a mistake on, go ahead, throw that in the comments. You got any crazy builds that you're planning to do with Jim? Big numbers, Barrett 50 cal, 500 damage? Go ahead and put that in the description as well. Sorry, the comments. And until then, I'll catch you next time.